welcome and a warm welcome back to all of my students who are returning back, to all of the children who are returning back. As you people told me to make videos on literary devices, I really wanted to do that for you before you go for examination tomorrow. So I wanted to talk to you about certain poems and the themes that's there in these poems and the literary devices of these poems, and give you a bit of example. However, we'll rush through a bit of the through this video because I wish to cover all of the poems and as much as I can. So we'll begin as fast as and soon as possible. So we'll begin as soon as possible. Awake one night from a so the first poem, as you can see on the screen, is Abu Ben Adam. The literary devices that's there isn't much literary devices in Abu Ben Adam, but one that I could find was one that's there actually is alliteration. So awake one night from a deep dream of peace. So this deep dream of peace is what? This deep dream of peace is actually, it's your actually alliteration, because the consonant sound dd is getting repeated. Whenever the consonant sound gets repeated, so that is what repetition of consonant sound happen, then it's alliteration. And saw within the moonlight like a lily in a bloom. What is lily in a bloom? It's a simile, because here the direct comparison is being made. Here the moonlight that is falling there is being compared to the room that's there on which the moonlight is falling, is being compared to a lily in a bloom. So that is why it is and since the comparison is direct, so that is why it is simile. Now coming to 9 gold medals, again one of the poems that also the name of those who love the Lord. So again L consonant sound getting repeated, so it is alliteration. Now coming to 9 gold medals, 9 gold medals as well didn't have much of a literary device, but there's one which says he stumbled and staggered. So S is again getting repeated, that is your alliteration. And then we have his dreams and his effort dashed in the dirt. Again dreams, dirt, effort, dash, dirt, again that is alliteration. So any, because this from the specimen paper, and this time I don't think they're giving you direct MCQ is in as in tell the figure of speech here, but rather they are giving you options and telling you that which one has been used in the option and which one has been used the similar one. You have to point out the similar one which has been used in the option and the question. So it's very important for you people to understand the concept, and that is why now you know what is alliteration and what is simile. Now going forward, we are going to discuss the poetic devices or the literary devices in the poems Daffodil, I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing, and The Patriot. And before we venture into that, I also wish to explain to you that when you're doing poem like Abu Ben Adam, the main theme, because I do not want any one of you to come and say, ma'am, this question didn't come, that question didn't come. I do not set the paper, so I would not know what question is exactly going to be there in the paper, and neither do I believe in important last study. What I believe in, yes, you could focus on important suggestions, focus on them more, but you have to study everything. So Abu Ben Adam, the main focus of Abu Ben Adam, as many of you might know, is the focus on humanity. So when you're writing your answers, when you're reading it at this point, at this juncture, focus on humanity, humanism, how Abu Ben Adam, try to explain your answers really well, use proper keywords, how Abu Ben Adam actually is there on the top of the list. Why? Because top of the list of the people who's loved by God. Why? Because Abu Ben Adam is someone who loves his fellow men. So that is one of the key themes that's there. Coming to 9 gold medals, again the theme of it is humanity, humanism, because not humanism, sorry, humanity, brotherhood, sportsmanship, because here what has happened, people are not being competitive. They are similar to like Jesse Owens' Special Olympic prize. So the theme is similar to that. It's similar to how Lose Long helps Jesse Owens. So here they are not focusing on I should win, I should compete, I should put someone else down. The competition, putting someone else down is not have the key. All of us are having our own, all of us are in our own battle. The key here is to do what? The key is to help people. So that is why when the youngest one fell, he stumbled and staggered. The rest of them actually helped him, and the 9 meters race reduced to a walk. 100-meter race, I'm sorry, the 100-meter, I'm not sure whether it's 9 meter or 100-meter, but it gets reduced to a walk. And hence it shows what? Hence it shows that how it is promoting brotherhood, sportsmanship, and humanity between people. So that's there. Now coming to the patriot, my children, what's the figure of speech here in patriot? First of all, let's read the poem. So the poem says, it was roses, roses all the way, with mitral mixed in my path like mad. So as you can see here, mitral mixed in the path is mitral mm. This mm is there, mitral mixed, mm like mad is obviously alliteration. The house roof seemed to heave and sway. The church spires flamed. Such flags they had a year ago on this very day. Again, another thing that is there is personification, when the inanimate objects, non-human objects, seem to behave like human. So here the house roof swaying. House roofs cannot sway on their own. It's us human who sways, but the house roof swaying is what kind of a literary device? It is personification. The church spires flame. Such flags they had a year ago on this very day. Again, let's go to the next stanza. The air broke into mist with bells. The old world's rock with crowd and cries. Again, crowd and cries is an alliteration. Had I said good folk, mere noise repel, but give me sun from yonder skies, they had answered. And afterward, what else? Afterward, what else is important, because if the question comes and talks about the extent to which these people venerated is respect. The extent of the adulation is extreme love, extreme appreciation. And if you are to talk about those things, then you can add that, how even when initially the patriot said that even if you would have asked something as difficult as getting the sun from the sky beyond, then what would the people say? That what else do you need to emphasize the extent? There's nobody at the housetops now, just a palsied few, sick few. Palsied few is not any figure of speech, but rather just a keyword I'm marking. For the best sight is all allowed at the shambles gate. Okay, and yes, one more thing that I missed, sorry. Flamed such flag. So flamed and flag again is alliterations. Okay. Yes. And yonder sky, again, afterward, what else? Again is what? Hyperbole. What is hyperbole? Hyperbole is exaggeration. As I was telling you, the extent to which something can happen. The more and more, 10,000 I saw at a glance. The poet is not sitting and counting and seeing 10,000, but the extent to which he is seeing those things, the vastness of the whole thing, the abundance of the whole flower, daffodils, is being expressed in hyperbolic terms. And similarly, hyperbole means you exaggerate thing, you try to make it more, bada chadakar bolna. So here afterward, what else is bada chadakar? किस extent तक लोग उनके लिए पेट्रियट के लिए काम करने के लिए तैयार थे. सो दिस इज योर हाइपरबोले. ठीक है. जस्ट अ palsied few at the window set, for the best sight is all allowed at the shambles gate, or better yet, by the scaffold foot I true. I go in the rain, and more than needs a rope cut both my wrist, and I think by the feel my forehead bleeds, for they fling whoever has a mind stones at me for my mishere's deed. So again, fickle mindedness, how people's perception about him has changed, how people are they feel the same way. The same person whom they respected, gave the dignity, are now they're doing what? They are now actually treating him, they are now actually taking him to be executed. Also, I go in the rain is pathetic fallacy. Now, what is pathetic fallacy? When human emotions are reflected in nature. So rain is gloomy, rain is sad. So here the outside nature is sad, human emotion, the emotions of the patriot is sad, and here the outside nature itself is also sad, gloomy atmosphere is created. So that is pathetic fallacy. Okay. Now, one more, I think, yes. Stones at me for my misyear's deed, misyear's deed, and thus I entered and thus I go. In triumph, people have dropped down dead. Drop down dead again is your alliteration. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe me? God might now question me. God might question now. Instead, it is God shall repay. I'm safer. So in the benevolence of God, in the kindness of God, in the shelter of God, He will be better. And there's one more figure of speech which I think I missed. Literary device which I think I missed, which was, I think, wait. Yeah, it was roses, roses all the way. Here also roses, roses could stand. Roses, use of roses could also symbolize a stand for what? Beta, stand for people's love. Whom do we shower roses at? Whom do we shower flower at? So it's like a metaphor for people's love. Roses, roses all the way, metaphor for the love and appreciation of people. So, okay. And then here this line, and you see, I think, where is it? Cannot find that line. Yeah. Okay, so the last two, I think somewhere it's here only. Alack, it was I who leaped at the sun to give my loving friends to keep. Not man could do, nothing could do. And you see my harvest, what I reap. So, see, and you see my harvest, what I reap. Here, the harvest is being compared to what? The patriot's deed. So, the patriot's deed have been referred to as harvest, and the consequences of it, the result of it has been referred to as reaping. So, the harvest, what I reap is what? It's a metaphor. Here the comparison, harvest is what I reap. The comparison is between the poet, the poet's work is being compared, indirectly compared to harvest, and what is reaping is being compared to your, this is being compared to your result of his work. Coming to the cage bird, what are the literary devices that you can find in the cage bird? First of all, one of the things that the title of the cage bird does is that it is an allusion. The title of Maya Angelou's poem actually is referring to what is allusion. When we refer to some other person's work, so it's referring to Paul Laurence Dunbar's work, poem called Sympathy, and from there she has actually taken the title of the poem. So not only the title of the poem, but also the title to Maya Angelou's autobiography, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sing, has been inspired by Dunbar's poem. So she is actually, the title of the poem refers to an image in Dunbar's poem. So there's an image in the Dunbar's poem. The poem's name is Lyrics of Hearthside in 1899. All of this won't come into ICSE, but just saying, if they talk about what does the title refer to, then it refers to another work which is of Paul Laurence Dunbar, but most probably they won't give you something of that sort. Then we'll come to analyzing the figures of speech. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the currents end, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So here a free bird leaps on the back of the wind and float downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. Talks about the movement, how the free bird is there, how he has been given the territory to move ahead and go ahead and do whatever it wishes to do, but no such alliteration here. The explanation is this only. Now, one thing that is there is that we are going to talk about, yes, and no, one more thing that, sorry, I forgot to mention, is dares to claim the sky. Again, dares to claim the sky is are exaggeration, so it is hyperbole, because here she is talking about in figurative senses. She is talking about how the free bird is free enough to dare and claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage, so restriction of movement, narrow cage means restriction of movement, can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped. His wings are clipped. Wings are used for flight, so his restriction of movement again. So these are the keywords you can use as well. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Okay, and another thing that is there, children, that's there in the first stanza is a free bird leaps on the back of the wind. Again, a bird might not leap. A bird flies and glides and soars, but it doesn't jumps in that way. So here again it can be called as a personification. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind can be termed as a personification. Again, one of the most important aspect of literary device in this poem is metaphor. The cage bird is metaphor for the poet Maya Angelou herself and all the African American people, and obviously the free bird stands for American, white American people. That is there. And yeah, alliteration, I'm sure you can find alliteration. You can seldom see through, so seldom ss, see through is alliteration. The free bird thinks of another breeze. Again, coming to the fourth stanza, thinks of another breeze, tt, another breeze. Fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, so fat worms waiting is alliteration. And his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream is also alliteration. Okay, but when we'll come to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, when we'll come to sixth stanza, what is important here is, here in the sixth stanza, whole of sixth stanza is actually a repetition of the third stanza. If you look at third stanza, you'll see the cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but long for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill for the cage bird. So it's a repetition. So another figure of speech or literary device that is there is repetition that you'll find here. So more or less this is actually basically your figures of speech here. Now what is important for this, for us to understand, is that the second stanza, theme wise, thematic wise, the second stanza, but a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. Bars of rage is an important keyword that you can use. His wings are clipped. Wings are clipped is a keyword that you can use. His feet are tied. Again, how do we know that the movement of the bird is restricted? Because his wings are clipped, his feet are tied. So the only thing that he has is his voice. The only agency, the only way that he can talk about his struggle is through his voice. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill. Again, very important is fearful trill of things known and of things unknown but long for still. So things are not accessible, things unknown, not familiar, things are not accessible for the cage bird, but he still desires for that. He still desires for the freedom, and that is why his songs are heard, his tune is heard on the distant hill. So these are the certain ways through which you understand the, again, another very important thing is grave of dreams. You can use this as a keyword. But a cage bird stand on the grave of dreams. Grave of dreams symbolizing what? Death of his dreams. His dreams are no longer alive. So that's all for your cage bird. Now we'll move forward to our next poem, that's Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats high over valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a golden host of daffodils. So what is the poet talking about again? I wandered lonely as a cloud. Again, one of the things is alliteration here, high over hills, HH, so that's alliteration. Again, a host of golden daffodils. So it's a host of golden daffodil beneath the lake, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Again, children, fluttering and dancing is personification. Why? Because the daffodils are themselves not fluttering and dancing. We are giving human quality to inanimate, inhuman object. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Again, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on a Milky Way. They stretch in a never ending line. So continuous as the stars that shine. Again, here the direct comparison is being similarly continuous. How much continuous it is? It is as continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, and they stretch in a never ending line along the margin of the bay. 10,000 saw at a glance. I've already told you this is hyperbole. Tossing their head in sprightly dance. Again, tossing their heads, they are not going to toss. Daffodils are not going to toss. That's human quality. But again, given inhuman quality, human quality to inhuman object, personification. The waves beside them dance. That's as well as that's personification as well. Outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company, such a cheerful company. For off when I on my couch, again I wandered lonely as a cloud, as I told you, is a simile, and continuous as the star that shine is also a simile. And again, bacha, one more thing is that is there is, for the poet is comparing two things. Poet is comparing, but he's not clearly stating. The poet, while referring to daffodils, what is he saying? The cloud's moment is being compared to, I wandered lonely as a cloud, is being compared to the poet's moment. So that could also be a metaphor. I wandered lonely as a cloud. The cloud moment is being compared to the moment of, to the moment of I wandered lonely as a cloud. Yes, here the clouds movement. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats over high over valleys and hills. And floating is referring to boats. So here direct comparison is not there, but indirectly the wandering of the clouds is being compared to the floating of the boat over hills and valleys. So that is your metaphor. And just I wandered lonely as a cloud is compared himself to wandering as a cloud. That is simile. But I wandered lonely as a cloud, comparison of the movement of the cloud, wandering of the cloud with the boat, is your metaphor. And fluttering is obviously your onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? But a pitter patter, chug chug. The voice itself will tell you the meaning. From the voice itself you'll understand the movement, the meaning of the word. So that is onomatopoeia. Okay, so that's all for your for your literary devices from all the poems that you have. I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that you people get the best out of here, and please comment if you have any problem, any issues in understanding these poems. By and by, I also told you about the important keywords, certain themes, whatever I could do in this short duration. All the best for examination tomorrow. Do not forget to check that MOV specimen paper type MCQ that I've put in. It would be a good practice for you, so you will be not you wouldn't be under prepared. You'll have actually some idea when you're sitting for the examination tomorrow. Take care, study hard, keep learning.